It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bengals and the reigning Super Bowl champs. Coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Cincinnati Bengals. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Throwing Jones. He's got a man, complete, and out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big play there for the Patriots.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 36, Jones. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now Jones. And right side, Henry's got it. Touchdown! Hunter Henry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Here come the Bengals. And CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
right? 2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play there for Cincinnati. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this? I'll bet that won't be the last time we see them take a deep shot in this game.
Here's Chase now on the jet sweep. And he stopped immediately there. Dante Hightower on the stop.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Burrow will throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
On the ground with a tight end. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throw left side complete to Chase. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor. Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
From the 44, Jones. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. A big play there for New England.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Damian Harris, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. On the return, Williams. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slam route. And the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat. And then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
Williams now on the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, it's Burrow.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And the Patriots have it.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the 44, Jones. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Williams to return.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. And he's going to give his guys great starting field position as he dives to the ground to get as much as he can. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
51 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Shifts past him at the 45.
And he will have a Patriots first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Operating from the gun, Jones.
There's Henry. Touchdown, Patriots.
It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. On the return, Williams.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play there for Cincinnati.
Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once again, they run with Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Here's a give to Mixon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Let's go!
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. Mixon. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. This is caught. A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. Mixon unable to find the goal line on 4th down. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence, just because it didn't work once.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game just illustrates how important home field really is. On paper, didn't look like much of a matchup, but now it's looking like it'll become one of the big surprises of the weekend. DJ Reader there on the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Jones. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked. New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
And he will have a Patriots 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
On 1st down, Harris. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Patriots, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets